Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the MCU's 25th overall movie and introduces us officially to the character of Shang-Chi. When drawn to the Ten Rings organization, Shang-Chi, master of Kung Fu, must confront his dark past. In case you guys are wondering about the slight differences in my camera angle as well as with my microphone sound, I am now officially filming at my sister's place. My mom moved from the last place we were at, and I felt that it was better for me to film at my sister's place. This probably will be temporarily, though. I could see it happening through the fall, maybe up until next summer. I'm not really sure, but things will stay like this for the time being until I eventually get my own spot. Not that anything looks or sounds completely different than it did a week ago, but there are a few slight differences in the way I have everything set up, so that's why. Oh, and because of the room spacing, I am now holding my microphone. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but I'm hoping for the best. So if you saw my quick review of Shang-Chi right out the theater, you know that I think this movie is fine. I don't agree that this is one of the best superhero movies of the last decade. Some critics said that this was the best superhero movie since Logan. I don't agree at all. I think this is an okay MCU movie, and for the MCU, it's one of the middle tier ones. Though I heard many say that the action in Shang-Chi is great, that made me very excited, and absolutely 100% the best thing about Shang-Chi is its action. The choreography is mind-blowing. I could mistake everyone in the movie for being actual MMA fighters because of how good they looked in the movie during the fight sequences. There are a plethora of great action sequences in Shang-Chi, but I'm not quite sure which one is my favorite, though if I had to pick a couple of standouts, they include a bus fight sequence as well as a fight sequence that takes place at the top of a skyscraper. All of that stuff was nailed. It's superb. It's some of the best action of the MCU. It rivals that of The Winter Soldier, and I genuinely like the storytelling in Shang-Chi. It's very strong from a family perspective. The main character had a lot of issues with his father growing up. He had to make difficult decisions. There were some people left behind. Plus, we get a good idea of the person Shang-Chi has become. He's broken, he suffers from PTSD, but he's learned from all that and now has an unbeatable skill set. As for his father, someone who suffered from losing a loved one, went from a power-hungry person to somebody who we saw felt love, back to somebody who wanted power again, and this power-hungry struggle meant terrible things awaited his kids. So all in all, I loved those aspects of Shang-Chi, but what hurt this movie the most for myself was how it moved way too slow compared to most of the MCU's other films. As expected, there is tons of exposition. I knew for a fact there was going to be an exposition sequence to kick off the movie, and the movie takes its grand old time to tell its story. It especially hurts a slower paced film when the characters are bland and the humor doesn't land. To me, I didn't see much effort when it came to having humor in Shang-Chi. There were a couple of jokes spread throughout the movie, and one character in particular was by far the funniest, but most of this movie was rather stale. I prefer almost every character in the MCU over the characters in this movie because the script didn't give the characters much characterization. I didn't have that many reasons to care about the characters in this movie other than the main brother and sister. The script was the biggest problem I had with Shang-Chi, whether that involved the overabundance of exposition, which was simply unnecessary, or the fact that they didn't really do much to characterize our main characters. Throw in some moments that make no sense whatsoever, and this is one of the more disappointing MCU movies. I had high hopes for both this and Black Widow, as well as some of the MCU TV shows that came out this year, but the only MCU property that's really impressed me in 2021 has been Loki. Everything else was underwhelming, unfortunately. I hope Eternals and No Way Home can make up for the MCU's disappointments of 2021. So I am giving Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings a 61%. Alright, for those of you who also happen to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. And as always, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.